Hi guys, my name is Shakia and welcome to my beautiful channel. Today I'm just trying something different. I'm doing celebrity readings because I kind of want to switch things up a little bit, have a little bit more fun with my readings. So lately I just did Cardi B and now I want to do J.Cole. He's one of my favorite rappers of like all time. And basically it's just giving fans a feel of like what's going on with his life, his career, his choices that he's making, what he's trying to do, and whatever spirit says about his like life and career. All right, so let's see what I'm getting. Um, he could be kind of feeling on a standstill as far as like creativity wise. Um, Kind of stuck between what fans want and what he really wants. He could be conversating with Jay-Z a lot more, as far as his record deal and what he wants to pursue next. Um, He does still see himself rapping as a career and as a job. Or maybe he's trying to see if he wants to do it more as a hobby. I guess he wants to do something more of like where he's going to feel like he has leg room to move. And he feels like maybe he can't do that with a record deal on his hand or like someone trying to make him do things that he doesn't really want to do, because I feel like he's trying to move in a direction of like spirituality, so like traveling more or doing more things that's going to enlighten him, maybe like study something new in school, even get a degree in something new. I do feel like his focus is family based too as well, because I think some of you heard that he had a child with his wife. Maybe his wife's family doesn't really like him as a individual, like maybe the fact that he's a high stature, a rapper or whatever. But he does feel like at a standstill at this time as far as creativity. So maybe if he's been like not putting out as much, to some fans they may feel like he's not putting out as much, or he's kind of slacking. Kind of since he put out that video, false prophets. Some people are curious about his new style. Like some people around him are kind of actually curious about him, like what's wrong. I guess because how his style is, like maybe he kind of let go. But to him, he can feel like he's finding himself spiritually, and that's kind of like showing on the outside. Like he's not really concerned about monetary issues, and he feels more comfortable and he can let loose and be himself, be carefree, things of that nature. I feel like he doesn't really care what people say about him, but a lot of people around him just don't understand, or they just don't get it. Sorry about the noise in the background, you guys. But yeah, some people around him just don't get it. Maybe they kind of despise him even, or but he's just letting his creativity flow as it will. He's kind of doing God's will more so than what everyone has to say about him, etc. He could be actually worried more about worldly issues, like people in poverty, like volunteering, or a lot of traveling is coming up in his mind. Like maybe taking a break from rapping, or at least like just trying to find balance. He's trying to find balance in his activities as far as like being a parent, being a teacher even, and exploring new terrain, because I feel like he knows and understands spirituality a lot. Definitely thinking of worldly matter, so maybe Africa, volunteering or sharing money with certain causes over there, overseas. Definitely thinking about being a teacher as well. Still wants to pursue rapping, so I don't think any fans has to worry about him just giving that up, because that's something that's really true to him. He understands the power that he has as a platform, as a rapper, and he wants to stay true to himself more so than anyone else. So he's just trying to take time out for himself. Again, there could be like there's a lot of talk again with Jay-Z, so it could be that he wants them to go a certain way, but he's kind of not really feeling that, or he feels like someone's kind of trying to dictate his career or his life, and he's not really feeling that. It's kind of like a constant struggle or a battle between what he wants and what the fans want, what other people want, what other people see him as. People might be telling him to cut his hair or his beard, or like to clean himself up, clean his act up. Um, oh, you're doing too much melodies, or oh, you're doing too much this and that. It's not really rapping anymore. Things of that nature. But he sees it as his creativity flowing freely. And if the fans like it or hate it, it's more so about authenticity to him, I'm getting, and etc. But definitely a lot of talk about him and Jay-Z, and like some things he does that maybe Jay-Z doesn't like, or understand. A lot of misunderstandings around with him and other people, because maybe he feel he's on a plateau that no one has really reached yet. Spiritual wise, a lot of spirituality. Maybe he goes off to Himalayan mountains or something. He sees monks, things of that nature. Something that helps him deepen his spiritual practice that he does that people don't understand around him. He could be taking a lot of time out of solitude. Again, that's why fans probably don't see him as much. A lot of you know that he doesn't really deal with social media like that. So a lot of friends are really concerned about him. Like what's going on. He's changing so much in such a fast pace. Like what we see and when he comes back is so different. Like what's going on. Things of that nature. Like, should we be worried? Should we be hyped? Should we be this or that? But nonetheless, when he comes back, he comes hard. Like his song High for Hours. Like a lot of fans took a liking to that, and they've thought it touched their hearts. Black Lives Matter keeps coming up, so he is a very advocate for that, like on Black Lives. So maybe he's working on more music, discussing about Black lives. His Tupac is his idol, and he believes in giving back into his communities. Maybe he's working on campaigns about Black Lives Matter. He's still worried about police, shooting young men and women down. Things of that nature. So there's causes that he's working on, campaigns that he's working on that are very important to him, that he will be shedding light on with people. That he's the president of some certain campaigns that people haven't really seen much of yet because he's not on social media. More talk with Jay-Z. So I guess it's like people around him who have helped him out maybe feel like, okay, remember who put you on. But he's kind of just like, okay, remember, I'm like, it's God first. Like, it's not about you or anybody else. It's about God. And so a lot of people are just trying to dictate or like overrule him in a sense. That's what I just feel. A lot of dictators in his life, but he's very free in his choices. He doesn't feel constrained or people trying to constrain him. There's some people who don't like what he says. They're trying to like make him be quiet about certain topics, but he's just like, no. Another one is, I feel like maybe he feels like Tupac at times, like he knows when he's gonna die, or maybe he has prophetic dreams of like dying, or not living for an awful long time, or something of that nature. Or maybe he just sees heaven or something like that. It's so weird. I'm trying to figure out what this card, I know this is like Wheel of Fortune, but how it's perceived to him, I think, is like, I feel like he's very intuitive and he just knows what's best for him and his family and people around him. He knows what part he plays in the world and the bigger scheme of things. He realizes that it's not really in his hands, it's in God's hands of what's going to happen. And whether he goes or stays here or stays in rapping or does whatever he wants to do is really up to God. And like he follows, God first and his intuition. He kind of doesn't act irrationally. He kind of like sits and meditates on things and, what's to be done. And whatever he hears, he does. Doesn't really second guess it. He rather pays attention to his intuition than man. The last card here is, so he could completely be moving in a new direction as far as creativity. His last projects, especially from the old J.cole you've known, like from Nobody's Perfect, from workout. Definitely not that J.Cole is pretty much dead right now. It's more of a hippie J.Cole coming back. Some of you guys may have listened to his song Change. The one where he's like, my intuition is telling me there'll be better days. It's definitely a more spiritual approach. I'm getting more enlightening point of view. He's still down to earth. He's still talking about black issues and poverty, what's real. And that's all that matters to him, is keeping it real. But yeah, that's it, you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Peace.